I'm Roberta Wallace, and this is my strategy presentation for reading 520, reading and writing in the content areas. The strategy that I'll be demonstrating today can be found in chapter 4 of our book by Laura Robb. The chapter is entitled Strategies to Use Before Learning. My strategy is called Fast Write. Robb says that Fast Write is a strategy in which students reclaim what they know. It's a cognitive warm-up. The students individually write everything they can about a topic for several minutes, usually 8 to 10. Phrases can be used, complete sentences are not necessary. If a student is stuck, then she says that they can repeat words until something comes to them, or they can just write questions they have pertaining to the topic. And if all else fails, they can just write, "I'm stuck." This strategy gives the teacher a sense of students' knowledge base of a topic that they have either had before or one that the teacher believes they should already have some background on. This strategy is a way for the teacher to plan instruction, and it also facilitates class discussion. In the true sense of this use of this strategy, students would be completing their fast writes in their journals. But for our purposes today, he's going to be doing it just on regular notebook paper. And then they would be taking their journals and reading them out loud if they wanted, or the teacher could collect them and read them. My student John here will not have to write as long, and he will be writing on the notebook paper, as I said, and not a journal. This strategy also lends itself to classwork, where the teacher could write down phrases that several students came up with, and then could see if the rest of the class had anything to add to the students' efforts, like on the board or on a big chart. So let's begin. John's going to do a fast write on Greek mythology and literature, which will be covered later on in his 7th grade social studies class. But I know that he already has some exposure to this topic. So we're going to allow John to write for 2 minutes, which of course is not going to be as long as he would normally get in a regular classroom situation. I would let them write for at least 8 to 10 minutes given their ability and also the topic and how much background they had with it. So you can go ahead and start, John. The fast write is a good way to review with students and see where their knowledge base is. Rob says that this is also good for students that are reluctant to share what they've written, because they can just pass it along directly to the teacher instead of having to say their answers out loud. She also says that students often have emotional responses and opinions in their fast writes, and that's okay. But we really are looking at the facts and seeing what knowledge they have, so we can plan instruction accordingly. A little bit more. I'm going to be taking up his paper and including it with my presentation that I'll be submitting. I'm going to take it up and look at it in just a minute, John, and read some of the things you've written about. Like I said, if you get stuck, then you can just keep writing a sentence that something that interests you about the topic, or just write a question, or you can just say, "I'm stuck." Are you finished? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take his up and look at it and read it because I have some time here. Okay, John wrote about Greek mythology and literature. The Titans are powerful gods, and there are 3 main gods: Poseidon, Hades, and Zeus. Zeus is the god of the sky and weather, and Hades is the god of death. Like I said, if he'd had more time, he probably would have written a lot more. I only gave him probably 1 minute. I would like to use this strategy in my own classroom because, like I said, it would be good for reluctant readers and writers. They would feel more comfortable in me just looking at their journals instead of using it within the whole class. And kids that wanted to share what they were doing, we could post it up on the board or on a large chart and use it as a guide to see where everybody was in the class as far as their knowledge, and that would be a way to prepare the lessons. We're about finished here.
4:53.
Well, let's see. thank you for watching my video.